Field. I'm John Clement alongside my good friend George Stockberger. George, welcome back to historic Dunfield.
It's good to be back. We got almost perfect weather here. Earlier this season we had a lot of those rain delays and those rainstorms interrupt the game. But again, glad to be back. The team went on a little bit of a winning streak when I was gone, so hasn't happened as of late. But hopefully we can get back on track
Well,
tonight.
it's certainly been a rough road this summer, George, as the Pioneers continue to try to find success. It's it's been one of those things where we look at it and the numbers don't bear out. The Pioneers' numbers are good. They are hitting. Their pitching ERA is down. I mean, you look at it, it's a 2.44 average, which is not bad. The ERA has gone down to 5.74 from 8 and 9s back earlier on in the season. So the Pioneers are doing the right things, but they've got to find a way to string together some victories.
Well, again, the guy on the mound tonight, Noah Rubino, one of those guys that you absolutely want out there tonight when you got a losing streak going on. Again, Rubino has been excellent this year for the Pioneers. And again, hopefully he can have another strong start. Again, we had a pitching duel the other night, so hopefully he can create another one that can work better on our side.
Hey, we'd love to see a pitching duel that gets us out of here by 9 o'clock. I'll tell you what, that was a pretty impressive night. But we do want to remind everybody, too, Noah Rubino named the starter for the Western All-Stars at the All-Star game next Tuesday. That should be a fun trip there, George.
Absolutely. Again, a couple Pioneers recognized as All-Stars.
Heading out to Socrates. Honor. I think you got a few friends out there.
We do.
As we want to remind everybody, you're listening to the Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8226. Of course, we've got Coach's Corner coming right up, but we're going to get into it first here. Noah Rubino, look at that stat line, 2.32 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss, 6 games, all of them starts, 31 innings pitched. That's impressive. 24 hits, 12 runs, 8 earned, 16 bases on balls, and 31 strikeouts, the second most on the team, only because Ben Terwilliger pitched the other night.
Yeah, and again, you look at some of those other things. He's faced the most batters out of any other pitcher this year. He's faced 130 batters. He's only walked 16 of them, so that's been one of the more impressive things about Noah Rubino. Again, the ERA, fantastic, up there with one of the best on the team. And again, he's been a horse for them this year.
The unfortunate thing for Noah Rubino is a lot of those walks have come as of late as the season has stretched on. George, Kobe Punchard over there on the other side for Geneva is going to do things here tonight. If you want to give us a look into what Kobe's done this season, we've got stat line right there for you.
Yeah, I mean, a one-on-one record in 5 starts, a 4.94 ERA. He's gone 23 and 2/3 innings, walked 16 batters, struck out 22, so a lot of walks. Obviously, 13 earned runs and allowing 24 hits.
Well, those are numbers that the Pioneers are going to have to take advantage of as they get started here tonight. We're going to take it down to Coach's Corner. We don't want to keep you guys waiting as the Pioneers will get ready to go here in just a couple of moments. You're listening to the Miller's Mowing pregame show here on Mixlr.com. Puppy's having some issues. Puppy's tripped over their shoes twice now. Now they don't know where they're growing. Right. Way to go. Sprinkles. Which sounds like a lot better than you. Puppy's got it.
Sprinkles had no arms.
Yeah. Puppy was lost frozen. Oh. Let's live at 90 seconds. Love it. Listening to nothing right now on YouTube, but probably about 20 seconds because it's always fucking wrong. Woo! Feels much better. All right, there we are. We're back. All right, so there you heard it from head coach Matt Birch and assistant coach Andrew Drum as the final pitches are made here. Remind you once again, Miller's Mowing brought you that pregame show. If your field's not game day ready, give them a call at 607, as I've lost my read, 607-302-8226. And now the first man will come to the plate tonight as Brock Kaufman, the third baseman, heads up. Kaufman, as a leadoff batter this year, has been hitting .077 in 13 attempts.
So he's due.
We've been saying that a lot for the Pioneers this year, George, and it just hasn't seemed to bear out. So hopefully that'll continue to be the case as Geneva comes to bat. The pitch from Rubino in there for a strike. The All-Star showing his stuff already.
Yeah.
It's got to be a nice feeling, and especially playing this collegiate summer ball, to get the nod and be respected by your peers as a great pitcher. The pitch in there on the outside for 1-1. Excuse me.
Well, again, we workhorse for them all season long. He had some great outings early in the season. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he almost had a double strikeout game at one point. So again, Rubino has really been carrying this team as that one's fouled off.
So 1-2. Pioneers certainly have had their struggles this year, but I'll tell you what, the success rate seems to come when they get the good, solid starting pitching that gets them through 5-6 innings, and then the bullpen can be, I don't want to use the term sparingly, but it's pretty accurate as that one's thrown in. This one's popped up. Back behind second base as Nathan Berg makes the catch, and want to recognize him as well as Nathan Berg headed for the All-Star game as a pitcher.
Yeah, and again, Berg, we talked about a lot of the guys on this team have been and we talked about Ben Zerberst, a guy who can literally do a little bit of everything, whether it's Pang or Nathan Berg. They do a little bit of everything for this team, and again, another great recognition for him.
I know the Greg Zerberst reference is newer, but I always harken back to Craig Biggio as the throw cut on, fouled back, 0-1. Biggio used to play every position in the rotation for the Astros when they wore those. They've brought him back now with the orange and blue and white. As Rubino winds and delivers, cut on and missed, 0-2. This is what you like to see from Noah Rubino. The confidence coming in, attacking early. This is what makes him an all-star. Sienna very lucky to have acquired him. As Rubino comes set, winds, delivers. This one hit out there towards right. Garrett Schultz on the move, makes the catch. And so 0-2 go the first two batters.
And we see a couple early fly balls, but Sun is still really out there. Again, in the summer months, but Sun hanging around for another hour or so. But a little bit of shadow over the batter's box because of the a light tower, so it just kind of goes across the mound, but it is very bright, very sunny. It looks like a day game when you're out in the outfield. So good test early for the fielders having 2 fly balls.
Well, Schultz has been impressive all season long as well. Schultz is one of those players who's a freshman to beat. As that first pitch in there for a ball, 1-0. Schultz has come through. He's put up the numbers this year, but it's going to be about finishing the year just as strong. As now the windup in the pitch from Rubino, cut on, popped up again. And speaking of, Garrett Schultz will come in and make the catch. Very quick, top of the first as the Pioneers get their men from Geneva in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to head for our first commercial break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, we are back. Kobe Punchard, the local kid out there on the mound. Obviously, the season he's had, you'd much rather see him in a Pioneers uniform, George.
Yeah, again, we talked about some of the numbers earlier. Again, a very tall righty out there on the mound. So, again, see what he brings tonight.
Well, he's going to have a tough task. Jeff Mejia, Brody Moore, and Nathan Peng set to lead things off for the Pios. So far this year, as a leadoff hitter, Jeff Mejia, 350 in 20 at-bats with 4 bases on balls.
Again, the Pioneers tried Quinn Buffington there for a while.
Didn't quite work out.
Didn't have the success that they expected. So Mejia filling in quite nicely out there in center field and in the leadoff spot.
He'll actually be in left field tonight, but
I'll be the C. Okay. The L and the C look very similar on my writing.
Oh, okay.
Horrible writing.
That's why I print things.
Yep.
So Punchard steps back on the hill.
We still got the Canadian flag out there, too, from last week. We do.
We're honoring both our Canadian and United States brothers. As in there for ball 1 as Kobe Punchard. Going to have to try to find the dish here.
That's been a fun series with Canada.
It certainly was.
Pioneer series.
Next one, high, 2-0. Yeah, it certainly was a home run derby in the first night and a blowout in the second night.
You don't usually think about a home run derby here in Elmira.
As fouled off for strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike.
I have still only seen, I think, 1 home run here.
That was the Andrew Sexton blast over the AJ's Power Sports sign. We saw Nathan Berg hit one back in the Canadian series as well. Pitch cut on, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Again, Ruhlman got really close when I was here doing the game.
He did.
It hit off the very top of the wall there. Almost the exact same spot as where the one actually went out.
As now, Punchard, the wind and pitch. Inside, 3 balls, 1 strike. Or 3 balls, 2 strikes, excuse me. Full count here. Umpire asking for some more baseballs. So, Mejia talking with the home plate umpire, trying to get things sorted here.
Again, the Pioneers not sitting too well in the standings. We're talking about the record at 11-18, second to last in their division. Geneva sitting all the way up the top there, 18-19.
The interesting thing, and I brought this up a couple times over the last broadcast, Pioneers win one game. They're tied with Watertown and Adirondack. Adirondack would have the edge as they have the season series lead 1-0 right now, but we would be jumping Watertown, so would move into a playoff spot right there. This division is so tight, save for Geneva. The wind and pitch, cut on by Mejia, grounded towards the second baseman, scooped up. Mejia running, not in time, as that will be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Brody Moore. Moore from Auburn University, obviously a late arrival as Moore had to play in the College World Series. Somewhat important.
Yeah, just a little bit.
As Auburn went a long way into the summer. So Brody gets his number 13 as a number change occurred a little while back as Mason Ruhlman switched to 21. The windup and the pitch, taken low, 1-0. Punchard having some trouble finding the zone here. Must feel the hometown pressure.
Yeah.
As Punchard comes set, he winds and delivers. Taken and hit right at the shortstop who stumbles but holds on to the baseball. Brody Moore goes down 0 for 1, and that's 2
flyouts in the top of the inning and a couple groundouts early on.
As now we'll see what Nathan Peng can do. Peng, who has come in here and really tore it up. 289 batting average, 11 hits in 38 at-bats. Those numbers may not sound huge, but I'll tell you what, when the Pioneers have struggled with hitting, that makes a big difference. 11 hits added to the lineup certainly makes a difference as Peng steps back in. Also being a great utility player. The wind and pitch, cut on, popped up here, and we'll see. Yeah, it's going to fall in right next to that tarp. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
We're talking about a lot of room out there in foul territory. That one just kind of landed in no man's land, like you said, right in front of a tarp by the bullpen.
As, again, trying to make his way over there was Trevor Rogers. Rogers certainly has a big bat, but he's also got a big body, too. He's has a hard time getting over in that foul territory. There's a reason you put your bigger guys on those corners. You don't want to give them too much room to move. You think back to Mo Vaughn,
Ryan Howard,
Albert Pujols. When the Red Sox had to play David Ortiz on the base pass. The wind and pitch right back to the pitcher. Hits him in the leg. Peng not giving it his all, but he's going to ground that one out. As 0 for 1's on the day for both sides. 1, 2, 3 as we'll head to the top of the second. 0-0. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, we are back live here at historic Dunn Field. Noah Rubino taking the last of his warm-up pitches. George, that's an inning you got to be happy with.
I mean, again, he threw, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitches. That's pretty good. We're moving quickly here, and with that, you keep your arm fresh. You're not sitting around for a while on the bench.
That part may be the unfortunate side of it. Would obviously love to take a little break and have a chance to sit. But 1, 2, 3, bottom half 2 puts Rubino right back out there. As coming up will be Trevor Rogers. Rogers this season has been effective. He comes in today, hitting right up at the top of the order there, 313, 22 for 20. That's not accurate. 30 for 96. There we are. As Rogers is a leadoff hitter, however, batting 240 in 25 attempts.
I have 5 home runs, 8 doubles, a big season for him.
As that one fouled right back below us, 0-1.
Was not paying attention. So I bet not hit higher. We haven't had one come in here yet. I've been waiting.
We've had a couple come close, but not quite yet making it up to the booth. As the windup and the pitch from Rubino, high, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'd like to thank all of our fans listening in on YouTube.com as well as Mixler.com, your home for Pioneers action all season long. Rubino apparently having some trouble with that Pios jersey. It sits wide open out there on him. Swinging strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So he comes back to the mound. Rubino out of Siena. I'll tell you what. Coach Birch was talking about him having a rough start, but with the style of play he can come at you with, he throws a ball there, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rubino might be a gem for his sophomore, junior, and senior years. Certainly has been effective over the summer here on a very young team, but still. The wind and pitch. Cut on, popped up here. Should be playable for Brody Moore. Moore calling off the left fielder. Makes the catch. So the offers continue. As Nick Lebraska coming to the plate next. I'm still trying to work on that vernacular as I got some complaints on YouTube. Our last home game about calling it the dish.
Yeah, but dish is fine. The plate, the dish.
They didn't like the dish.
No.
So, all right, Lebraska coming up. And I'm trying to verify this. I don't have any numbers on Lebraska.
New addition?
Possibly.
To the team?
Possibly. I have no numbers on Lebraska. The wind and the pitch. Taken for a strike, 0-1. So any Geneva fans that may be listening in, if he is a new addition, please feel free to comment. That's why we have the board right there. The wind and pitch from Rubino. High, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our first Tioga Down showdown of the evening. As we remind you, you too can be an all-star. Check out the Tioga Downs Summer Concert Series as Smash Mouth comes to town. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. Low, 2 balls, 1 strike. So the one thing about Rubino, he really knows how to work the zone. Once he's able to locate exactly where it is, he paints the corners. But right now, still in the first couple innings, trying to figure out this umpire's particular zone. That cut on, popped up, and right back over the booth as we remind you to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber Collision and Glass.
And glass, yes. That is a little different than
we've changed it 3 times this season.
We have. But it all works.
Yeah.
Thank you to our friends at Gerber Collision. As the windup. And pitch from Rubino, cut on, popped foul, maybe not playable. That's going to make it into the seats. So 2 ball, 2 strike, 1 out as Noah Rubino trying to find the second out of the second inning. Watch a player like Noah Rubino, obviously still in college, still a young pitcher, but the numbers he's put up this summer, the way he carries himself, there's a definitive plan to everything he does. It's a smooth movement, and it's fun to watch. Rubino comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on, popped out there towards right field. Garrett Schultz underneath and makes the grab. 2 outs. As that's going to bring up Harrison Treble, the left fielder. Treble definitely have the numbers on him. 18 for 53, 340, 3 doubles, 1 double, 11 RBIs. 23 total bases, 8 bases on balls.
Here comes Treble.
Here comes Treble.
There you go.
As again, Harrison steps in. Noah Rubino trying to work his way through a second perfect inning of work. The wind and pitch popped back to our left-hand side there, George.
We thought that one hit the net. That was a very strong one.
Very strong. As now, Coming back set is Rubino. He winds and deals. That one's popped out there towards left. Mejia's got the track, makes the grab, and that will do it. A very quick second inning. 0-1s through the first 6 batters to come to the plate. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right. Well, very sorry to interrupt, but we are going to get back to it here, folks, as the Pioneers will head back to the dish. Our first look at Craig Corliss this season. Craig recently joined the team as he was a member of last year's Elmira Pioneers.
One of many returners.
As Craig steps up to the dish, batting from the right-hand side. Do want to apologize to Marion Decker Insurance for interrupting that commercial. Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today. The pitch right back up the middle to the second baseman. Corliss not fully running that one out. We'll go down 0-1. That may be the one knock on the Pioneers this year, George.
Yeah,
is
we've
that
seen it a couple times already tonight.
the lack of running out pitches there, as now Garrett Schultz comes up. Schultz batting in 250, 20 hits in 80 at bats. So the numbers bear out there. 250, perfectly respectable, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The pitch cut on, hit out there towards shallow right, makes the grab. So one pitch and an out.
2 pitches, 2 outs.
That's going to bring it. That's true. 2 pitches, 2 outs, as Nathan Berg will head up.
Right fielder's getting a lot of attention early today.
Certainly have been, as Berg will head out.
The flag's hanging straight down. Not really any
No
any wind out
nothing
there.
pushing things along. As again, Berg, who did hit a home run back in that Canadian series, George.
Ooh. Again, I haven't seen too many of those this year.
He takes a pitch. Noah Rubino thanks him.
You barely get the towel wrapped around your arm by the time this inning ends.
As the windup and pitch from Punchard in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Certainly liking the patience out of Berg as the number 6 batter in the lineup. The next pitch in there hung. Little surprised Berg didn't take a cut at that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Number 6 wearing 6 tonight.
He is. Used to play the 6th position too over at shortstop.
Yeah.
Cut on, ground ball towards the aforementioned shortstop. A little bit of trouble picking that one up. Berg, again, trying to get down to first base, not in time, as that will end the full half of the second inning. Pioneers 0, Geneva 0. We're keeping it close here, folks, as the Pioneers head for the top of the third. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, George, we are back for inning number 3. Can you believe it?
It's moving quick.
As now that's going to bring up the bottom third of the order as we've gone 1, 2, 3 through the first 2. Alex Bibb will be the first man up as a leadoff hitter, 333, 1 for 3. Bibb this season batting 273 as he is just 6 for 22. Has only appeared in 3 games to this point. So
again, we keep adding players throughout the season, both here and on Geneva.
For certain. Used to seeing that a little more over at First Arena in the Federal Hockey League. Players coming in and out, but
and season tickets are probably on sale too.
Season tickets are on sale right now, and some big announcements coming in the next coming days.
Ooh.
The windup and pitch from Rubino. Taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
I was unable to get that Stefan Timofeyev jersey, but I was eyeing in the auction. Yeah? You get that one?
I did not. Oh. However, I'll tell you.
Someone got it.
Pricing was very good on that. It was. Swung and missed. 0-2.
I was keeping my eye on him, and I forgot about it the night the auction ended. But
it was July 4th, so
it was a good price for some of those Enforcers game worn jerseys.
For sure. Probably some more opportunities to pick up an Enforcers inaugural season jersey coming along here very shortly. As Rubino comes back set. He winds and delivers. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the best thing about Noah Rubino, you see him not only work the count, but he finds the perfect way to get the hitter's eye to move up and down. He works the whole zone as he throws there, and ball 2. 2-2. So 2 ball, 2 strike count. Again, the uniform wearing a little bit odd.
Yeah.
As
it is warm out there.
Winds and deals. Oof. In there for the punch out. First strikeout of the game for Noah Rubino.
That's beautiful. Just dropped a breaking ball. A little knee bender there. And again, Rubino showing up once again for the Pios.
Well, Seth Hojanaki comes up next. He is the least hitting member of the team. A 125 batting average. 4 for 32. So
1 RBI and only 4 total bases this year.
The pitch comes in, fouled away.
Has walked 3 times as well.
So a rough start to the year for Hojanaki.
His slugging percentage is lower than his on-base percentage.
It is.
It's usually not a good sign.
But again, the summer has been very kind to Geneva as the windup and pitch driven. That's going to get him a hit here right down the foul line as Garrett Schultz will scramble over to pick up the ball and not allow him to reach second. So there's the first hit of the ball game coming from the number 8 batter in the Geneva lineup.
Again, we talk about
probably
a guy
least expected.
A guy who only has 4 hits on the year, now 5. The guy that you think the least about is going to have the biggest impact.
Well, Ronan Chisholm comes up next. He's 278, 5 for 18. So another recent addition, only 6 games played this season. See what he can do here. Would love a ground ball, turn a quick 2. As the windup and pitch in there low, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes as the Pioneers starter, Noah Rubino, worked quickly through those first 2, just allowing his first hit after getting an out here in the top of the 3rd inning. The wind and the pitch, cut on. Ground ball is retrieved, but Berg was too far over. That's going to be a single as Schultz back in. So 1 for 1 for the 8 and 9 hitters, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Brock Kaufman.
As a second baseman set up, played up a little bit closer to the bag. That one hit exactly where he probably would have been. Again, a little tough break for the Pios after those quick first 7 outs of the game.
So Rubino will get a quick visit from Nathan Peng. Peng likes to talk to his pitchers. Part of that had discussing signage because every catcher that the Pioneers have, all 4 of them, likes to go a different way with signing out when there's a runner on second. Some like to touch themselves, either touching the head, touching the shoulders. Others like the signs. As this one is popped up, possibly playable, getting over and making the grab. So caught in foul territory as Brock Kaufman goes 0 for 2. The runners have to stay put as that one is thrown back in. That's going to bring up Noah Fisher. Fisher 0 for 1, 2 here in the top of the third as Rubino looking in. First time tonight he's had to work out of the stretch here, and he's had to do it for a couple batters now. The windup and the pitch. Cut on ground. Ball hopped up, picked up by Brody Moore. He throws over. No, it gets by. That's going to allow the first run of the ball game. So the runner will move to second. That'll put runners at second and third as Geneva scores the first run. As we'll wait to see if that's marked as a hit. I would assume it would be reached on an error, would you?
It's a tough play there for Moore over at shortstop. He has to kind of sit back a little bit. It was a really high hop. He had to bounce up for him, and he had to rush for throw, and he just short hopped it just a little bit. Again, trying to dig it out of the dirt over there at first base, but again, unable
reached on
to.
An error there. As yes, we have the confirmation from the scorers table. As Fisher will go 0 for 2. Doesn't earn the RBI as that was driven in on the error. The next pitch is a strike to Brandon Cooper. Cooper now runner at second and third. Rubino trying to limit the damage. The wind and the pitch. In there for strike 2. Cooper not happy with that. As again, Rubino now 1 strike away from getting out of the top of the third inning. Rubino comes set. Shakes off the sign. Now he steps off, comes back as he continues to communicate with his catcher, Nathan Peng.
He had such a great rhythm those first couple, and now, I don't know, not rattle, but
that one hammered towards the third base side. That's going to get through into the outfield. Geneva looking to make 2 runs come across here. Thrown in quickly back to second base. The tag is in time. As he said, the umpire saying the run came across first. Hold on.
Yep.
He said 1 run.
Really?
So.
That should be 2.
Hold on now. More confusion. As Matt Birch coming out. I don't know what the situation is here.
It should be 2 runs.
Well, that's how it's marked up on the board. Matt Birch is arguing, as I believe second base umpire may have called the man safe at second. The initial signal was out.
He was a dead duck. I mean, I don't know how you can change that to safe.
As now, let's see. There's
the throw beat him, and the glove was perfectly right in front of the bag before he got even close to second.
Hold on. Matt Birch still getting harped at there by the second base umpire.
I mean, now the play at the plate doesn't. Now we're talking about the 2 runs. Now that play at second's interesting.
I have no idea why, and Rubino has to be upset.
I have that error. You think you get out of the inning with a really nice heads-up play to get you thought to get the runner at second on the cutoff throw, but
this one's popped up. This should be the end of the inning. As Garrett Schultz makes the grab, Trevor Rogers goes 0 for 2. The Pioneers surrender 3 runs on 2 hits. It's been a rough inning. Now the Pioneers have to do what they've done very well all season. Come back. You're listening to the Pioneers on Mixlr.com. All right, so the bottom of the order, George, and the Pioneers looking to respond.
Yeah, again, a couple tough plays. We had the error over at shortstop, a short hop that then went almost over his head. He did a good play recovering from it, but tried to rush the throw over to first. Ball got away, and then questionable call at second on what should have ended the inning, where 2 runs end up coming across, 3 in total in that inning.
Well, that'll bring up Kyle Richardson. Richardson 0 for 9 as a leadoff batter. I went in there on the corner. No balls, 1 strike. So clearly due, as we said earlier.
A lot of these guys are due.
For sure.
They've been due for a couple weeks.
As that one's in there for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 count, as Kobe Punchard has certainly looked efficient here. The wind and the pitch. Taken for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And again, we talked there's a really good pace, and both these pitchers had a real good feel for the zone early in the game. We'll see if that inning by Rubino's that one gets away. If that long inning kind of throws both of them off.
Well, 3 ball, 1 strike count to the first batter he faces here in the bottom of the third for Kobe Punchard. Punchard comes set. He winds and delivers. Inside, ball 4. That'll be the first walk as a leadoff batter to Kyle Richardson this season.
First base runner of the game for the Pios.
As Bryce Moskowitz comes to the dish. Bryce, 235, 12 for 51 on the season. Moskowitz, who in his last 5 games has batted .417. 3 games played, 5 hits, 12 at-bats. The pitch in there on the outside corner, 0-1. So certainly you like the recent numbers.
Yep.
As, hey, you turn it around and then you just got to keep the wheels moving. So Moskowitz waiting to throw over to first base. As that was an interesting way to get back.
A little awkward stumble.
Richardson does make it back, however. As again, Moskowitz looks out. 0-1 call. Taken way outside into the left-hand batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike. So, George, the Pioneers obviously running out of home games. They've been successful here at Dunn Field, but as I said, you just run out. The next pitch, cut on, popped up into foul territory, and that one isn't out. So, first out of the inning, as Moskowitz pops one up. That's going to bring up Andrew Sexton. Sexton, the lone Pioneer to hit a home run during your tenure here, George. Yeah. So hopefully he can be inspired by getting you back in the booth.
Yeah. Other than that, hasn't had too great a stretch for the Pios, hitting 172 on the year.
On the last 10.
Or the last 10, excuse me.
In the year, probably not as great either. About 180. The line in the pitch, cut on and fouled away. As that will be 0-1. And that reminds us to make sure you make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And glass.
Yeah.
As again, Kobe Punchard, the local kid, certainly having a day so far here at historic Dunn Field. Throws over. It seems like a lot of Geneva pitchers get very concerned with runners on base. So try to take advantage of. As that is taken low, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Our next Tioga Downs showdown. As we remind you, Tioga Downs not just a great place to play, a great place to stay. Check out their new hotel. The wind and pitch from Punchard, high outside, 2-1.
You know, a very easy motion. Again, we've seen a couple of the Pioneers guys have this where there's not too much to his windup and his release. Just almost like lobbing it up there.
Not a whole technique here that you could really pinpoint.
Just simple, not even a leg kick.
As that's popped up, this is definitely going to be playable. Punchard going to take it himself. He will make the catch. And that'll be the second out of the inning as we head back to the top of the order and hope that Jeff Mejia can keep things going here in the bottom of the third. Pioneers trailing 3-0, still have yet to register a hit.
Every time I see those pop-ups kind of right in the middle of a field and the pitcher calls for it, I go back to 2009 World Series where Cliff Lee, he has the one right in front of him and just kind of holds the glove out to the side and lets it kind of drop to his side. Joe Buck called it a ho-hum play, middle of a World Series, and you get that little fly ball. The next play was a line drive that he caught behind his back.
As Mejia grounds one towards second base. Second baseman has the play and makes it. That'll be 3 outs, and the Pioneers go down in 1 and 2-3 order. As now Elmira heads back to the field for the top of the 4th, trailing 3-0. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. So we come back here as Rubino goes back to the hill. Noah has had an outing that started off great, got very, very complicated in the top of the 3rd. So next man up to the dish, Nick Lebraska. The wind and pitch, cut on foul back. 0-1. As again, Lebraska, new to the team, is 0-1 right now here. Now the count is also 0-1. Rubino winds and delivers. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And welcome back, George.
Yep. And to enjoy those Dunfield cheeseburgers.
Pretty darn good, eh?
They are.
As now, Rubino going back to work. He winds and deals. Cut on and missed by Lebraska. 1 ball, 2 strikes, excuse me. Getting a little behind here.
Yeah. The hot dog's also very good here.
Hot dogs
Wouldn't mind having another one of those.
For sure. Dunfield dogs.
Yeah.
As the wind and the pitch. Cut on, grounded towards the third baseman, scooped up, and throw over.
Oof.
Gonna be in time. The tag.
Oh.
Whoa, hold on a second here. As
He calls him safe, and he immediately went over to Matt Birch saying not to come out. Birch has already got into it with that infield umpire. The throw was offline, but I thought he tagged him like 2 or 3 times before he got to the base.
I thought so too. 0 for 2 reaches on an error to start the inning, and that's going to bring up Harrison Treble. We made the pun before.
Here comes trouble.
As Rubino has to wait. Time is called by Treble. I do not I do not know how he missed him. I'll tell you that right now.
Is that an E6, E3? Because the throw pulled him off, but he should have tagged him.
I'm going to say it's an error on the first baseman there. So 2 ball. Or excuse me, 1 ball, no strikes. The windup in the pitch. cut on, hit, popped up. This should be playable for Berg. He's got a read. Makes the grab, so there's the first out of the inning. Treble goes down 0 for 2. It's going to bring up Alex Bibb. Bibb, the lone strikeout of the night. You know, Rubino would love to add a second to that tally, but also wouldn't mind a ground ball.
Yeah, we've seen Rubino collect a couple big strikeout games. That's why he's going to be in the All-Star game. But again, a lot of fly balls here tonight. And again, we talked about the wind not really blowing.
Should be the last time we see Rubino before the break. The wind and pitch, cut on, ground ball, right to the shortstop, thrown over by Brody Moore, played over into first, and in time, a double play by Alex Bibb. That'll bring the Pioneers back to home plate. We'll see what they can do as they look to get started. Brody Moore will lead it off. Nathan Peng, Craig Corliss, who will look to make up for that ground or that throw over. We'll see what they can all do when we come back up. It's a 3-0 game in favor of Geneva. All right, folks. So Brody Moore getting set to lead things off. Head coach Matt Birch making a very slow walk around the home plate. Now he puts on the jog and will head out to third base. Brody Moore 0 for 1. He played at Oneonta, Alabama High School for his dad, Brandon. Moore was the 4th best shortstop and 31st best player in Alabama, rated by Perfect Game in 2018.
A lot of guys who were number 4 at their positions on this team.
Well, Brody, 287 as the lead, or 286 as a leadoff hitter and 7 at bats.
There you go. Not bad.
Certainly been an interesting streak for Brody. He didn't play a lot early, being in the College World Series, so now certainly getting his day-by-day routines as he takes ball 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as the shadows have all but faded here at historic Dunfield.
The lights are on.
2 balls, no strikes now.
We got some nice looking clouds out there.
For sure. We were projecting rain all day. A few of the front office staff tried to put out the tarp. The pitch inside 3-0. And I'll tell you, there was 3 of us, and I think next time we'll leave it to the players.
Yeah.
Not as easy a job as one might imagine. The windup and pitch taken low. Brody Moore earns a 4-pitch walk, as that'll bring up Nathan Peng. So Nathan Peng this season with runners on base batting .391. Does have a home run with a runner on base as well. That was up in Watertown.
We need one of those.
Could use a couple of those, as a matter of fact. Peng playing catcher here tonight. As we've said, he pitches, he catches, he plays second, he plays short, he plays left field.
Was everything.
It certainly does. The windup and the pitch. First strike of the inning, 0-1. Interesting thing for me, and I've said this a lot, is when the catcher comes to the plate, that has to be a terrifying at bat for the umpire. That one's connected on, driven through, and the shortstop makes the grab, and that is in time. Oh, the fans are letting the second base umpire have that one. They do not like that at all. And Matt Birch is keeping his collective calm for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's already been warned been a couple questionable calls over there at second base already tonight. That one was about.
This will get his second at bat as a Pioneer this season. Gotta give the credit here to the starting pitch. Throws over, checking on Nathan Pang.
And again, it's not too much. It's a very almost easy lob there. He's got a lot to work with. Very lanky pitcher.
And as you said earlier, George, not a lot of wasted motion.
Almost no leg kick. The knee doesn't even bend. It's just almost a straight sidestep out.
I was trying to think of the comparison there. There was a Bronson Arroyo type.
Yeah. I can see that. Again, another tall guy.
As the line pitch cut on down the third base line. Third baseman throws to second in time, over to first. In time, was waiting on the umpire on that one. I was pretty sure he was out, but had to wait for that signal from the umpire. As Craig Corliss grounds into a double play. It's not 1-2-3, but it's pretty close. The Pioneers now trailing 3-0 after 4 complete. Gonna have to find a way to start putting numbers up on the other side of the board. You're listening to baseball here on Mixlr.com. All right, and with that, we are back. George, we're through 4 full. Pioneers have done a lot of things right. One bad inning. I mean, that's really what it's come down to.
It's
here.
only really been one bad play for the Pioneers tonight. Again, we talked about before this game and kind of booking it. We're almost at 8 o'clock, and we're starting the 5th inning here. Again, just a weird hop has kind of been the story of this game over at shortstop, and that led to get me error. I mean, 3 runs coming across, a bit of a questionable call, but again, that call ended up not mattering over at shortstop, or at second base, I should say.
For sure.
So again, it's been interesting and fast-paced game early on.
Well, the stereotypical shortstop, your Derek Jeter, your Carlos Correa, your tall, lanky guy, not necessarily the case for Brody Moore, but the speed. Tell you what, you can't challenge Brody Moore for the quick, the smart read. He does everything right, but when the ball takes a weird hop like that, you wish you had another 3 or 4 inches on you. As now the wind and the pitch cut on and missed by the first baseman. Craig Corliss thought he had the read on it, but couldn't quite get there. As Seth Hojanaki goes 2 for 2 on the day.
It's a weird one. It went underneath of him. It wasn't even glove length out. It was almost like armpit length out. So another bad hop for the Pioneers.
That's one of those ones you wish you could knock down at the very least. But just, it's one of those things too where a catcher is playing a position and it takes time to adapt to something like that. As now Revines delivers to the number 9 batter, Ronan Chisholm. Chisholm now with a runner on first base. As Hojanaki, we were just saying, he had the least success on the team, but tonight, 2 for 2. Rubino Wines delivers low again, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes here in the top of the 5th. Nobody working in the Pioneers bullpen as of this point.
And you talk about Hojanaki being the guy that started it. Again, it's been the bottom of the lineup.
He's got to direct his defense here. I mean, you play the bunt? Do you? I mean, it's been advertised now, so
Yeah, you got to play in at third now.
the windup and the pitch. There's the bunt again, right down the first
perfect.
baseline. Waiting. It goes foul. So a smart play there by the first baseman who normally plays catcher.
Yep.
So, that's probably an advantage for Craig Corliss on the bunt play. Can read that ball, get a good look at it, and find his way to know where it's going to go.
Again, it was perfectly read. At first, I thought it was a perfect bump away. It was going down the line there, but the way the dirt has already been kind of muddied up tonight with all the runners going around, that ball just kind of rolled just barely into foul territory.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes as Rubino coming set. He winds and deals. Cut on and missed, and Rubino earns his second strikeout of the night as Ronan Chisholm goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Brock Kaufman in the top of the order. Kaufman in the last 10 games, 389, as he has swung a 7 for 18 bat. He steps back up here. Geneva has the lead in this division for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing it here. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. Taken for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th inning.
Again, they're taking advantage of the miscues in this game. We talk about the error. We talk about some of the questionable calls. And, again, they're playing good all the way around Geneva.
The wind and pitch. Cut on towards the shortstop just by Brody Moore. That's going to get out to left field. Hurrying his way in was Mejia. No advancement, but Brock Kaufman earns his first hit of the night, as that's going to bring up Noah Fisher for his 3rd trip to the dish. He's 0 for 2, reached on an error. Did come around to score after reaching on that error as well.
That 3rd runner to come across the plate or the dish, whatever you'd like.
As Fisher heads up. Runners at first and second. 1 out on the board. Rubino winds and delivers. Hit out there towards right field. Making the play. And the throw coming in quickly there from Garrett Schultz. As now again, Pioneers have 2 outs, runners at the corners, and up comes Brandon Cooper.
5 fly balls already to right field. Schultz was very active tonight in right field.
I'll tell you what, though, for a kid fresh out of high school,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, heading to Xavier in the fall, but the highest level that he has played is high school ball. I mean, that's an impressive showing this summer for a soon-to-be college freshman. As Rubino coming set, he looks in, winds and deals. That one low in the dirt and on defensive indifference, moving across there. Going to be Kaufman. So Kaufman moves up on defensive indifference. Still 2 outs. Rubino heads back for the mound. Giving up 5 hits already here through 5 full. Almost 5 full. 1 out away from 5 full. That one inside. 2 ball. No strikes. 2 outs. As Rubino looking for just 1 more out to get out of this top of the 5th inning. Rubino comes back set. He winds, delivers, fouled off. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And again, it's been a lot of pitching contact in this game. Only 2 strikeouts for either side combined. Rubino getting both of those out on the mound. And we talked about a lot of fly balls and a couple double plays in this game. We talked about earlier, we haven't seen too many of them, but we've already seen 2 or 3 tonight.
Well, at this point, would take just the 1 out. That's all they need. That one grounded off. 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out. And George?
And Tioga Down Showdown, where you can be an all-star and see Smash Mouth later this summer.
As that's always a fun one. Don't forget kart racing.
Yeah.
That's another exclusive over there at Tioga Downs. So Rubino looking for the put-away pitch.
Also the buffet.
The buffet. Love the buffet.
I could do the Dunfield dog
Dunfield
buffet.
That sounds
Do
good.
that.
That is outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Rubino certainly be taken for his money's worth at this point.
And if you want something similar to a buffet, you can get a picnic here, right?
Picnic here, yeah. If your corporate group needs a place to go and have a good time, also catch a ball game. As George set that one on a tee for me. Make sure to give us a call, 607-734-2690. Cut on, ground ball towards the third baseman, scooped up, thrown over to first in time as the Pioneers get out of the inning without any more damage. So Cooper will be the final out. The Pioneers will come up to the plate for the bottom of the fifth, trailing just 3-0. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, well, we'll take a brief pause and come back to that in the next intermission. As coming up now, Garrett Schultz, who's been busy tonight, George.
He has. Again, a lot of activity out there in right field tonight, including little campfires.
Schultz is a leadoff batter, 385 and 13 at-bats. Not usually the leadoff hitter, but see what he can do here. The wind and pitch is in there for a strike. So, Kobe Punchard continuing to work well here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
And of course, Schultz 0 for 1 with a fly out to where?
Right field.
Right field.
1 ball, 1 strike to Garrett Schultz. As these two teams will meet again tomorrow, George, this time up in
They
Oneonta. Wow, Geneva.
Nope, I was about to say.
That was me.
Have I been saying wrong team all game?
1 ball, 2 strike. No, the Geneva Red Wings. I don't know where I went to Oneonta.
Well, we got to be going to Oneonta at some point this season.
A few more times, as a matter of fact.
A few more times. Season almost done, though.
As the wind and pitch. Taken for a strike, and that will be a punch-out.
First punch-out for Pioneers batters tonight.
As Schultz goes down 0 for 2. He's going to bring up Nathan Berg. Berg 0 for 1. Want to apologize to our YouTube fans just tuning in. Camera is autofocused to the best of our ability. We can see it pretty clearly over here. Do apologize if you're having some issues.
Check your Wi-Fi settings. Unplug your router. Plug it back in. Maybe try that.
So George is doing tech support
doing
over
tech
here
support
as well.
here. I do everything at 18 News already. Might as well do that more extra stuff here.
Works for me. I'm good with that. As again, Berg from Xavier by way of New Prague, Minnesota. The wind and pitch. Take in there for a ball. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. As Nathan Berg trying to get something started for the Pioneers. The windup and pitch. Inside, ooh. Berg, knees buckled on that one, 2-0. Berg's trying to get something started here with 1 out. Almost got it started right on the chest there as that one looked close to hitting him. The next pitch by Punchard. Inside again, 3-0.
Working the inside here on Berg.
Nathan Berg going to have to take some dancing lessons here to keep moving out of the way of this one.
He had a good move already with that little knee bend.
That one balls, 1 strike. So apparently caught the outside corner, the freshly painted home plate.
Caught something.
The wind and pitch, cut on and ground ball foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So all the way back goes the Pioneers batter, Nathan Berg. So Berg waiting. Kobe Punchard comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and ground ball down the third base line is foul. As again, Berg keeps the bat going. 6 pitches already here, George.
Again, we talked about this game was moving a little bit quicker pace early on today. As he chops another one foul.
7 pitches.
7 pitches now, a full count. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we talked about the last name Sexton on this team. There was a Richie Sexton, wasn't there? A Sexton who played for the White Sox?
There was, yes.
As
that one grounded right up the middle. And that one will be a single. The Pioneers' first hit of the ball game comes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up Kyle Richardson. Richardson, no official at-bats as of yet.
There's no Sexton coming up on Baseball Reference. There are 4 of them, and not Richie Sexton, which I thought was a baseball player.
So again, we've got a base on balls for Kyle Richardson. As coming back set, the wind and pitch. High throw over there on Berg. Berg gets back in time. 1 ball, no strikes. As again. So you were thinking of Sexton.
Yeah.
We were talking about Sexton. That was the issue. Okay, 2 balls, no strikes. As the next pitch is inside on Kyle Richardson.
Sexton, close enough.
Pretty close.
Just 1 letter off.
As now again, the throw over to first. I talked about it earlier, the premeditation with the runners on base.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pioneers trying to put as many runners on base as they can get at this point. Taking a strike there on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat was Kyle Richardson.
Why did I think Richie Sexton played for the White Sox? I thought he did, but apparently didn't.
As now, once again, Kobe Punchard trying to work his way through an inning. Has Berg standing at first base. The wind and the pitch. Way outside. Berg is off and running. He will make it in with a stolen base. Not the best jump I've seen, but...
No, and if, again, McKetcher was throwing from his knees all the way outside the batter's box, I think if he had been set, he would have had a runner caught stealing, but a beautiful slide where he kind of dove to the backside of the bag to get his hand in.
All right, well, George, you're efficient.
Yeah.
Cut on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As we've got some comments here. As
there you go.
I fixed it. So George and tech support here want to thank you for coming on in. As again, we appreciate all of our great fans on YouTube and Mixler. The wind and on and missed, fouled into the glove for strike 3. 2nd strikeout of the game, 2nd strikeout of the inning. As that'll bring up Bryce Moskowitz. Moskowitz will now be batting with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. He has had this opportunity 11 times, driven in 4 runs, and is batting .273.
You know, Richie Sexton got MVP
You
votes
are
one
hung
year.
up on
I am.
this.
Do you know he hit 45 home runs one year as we have a visit on the mound? We go through some Richie Sexton.
Richie Sexton
45, 2 45 home run seasons.
All
I
right.
did not remember that.
And those were both in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe he played for the Yankees, so maybe that's where I'm thinking White Sox.
White Sox.
I vaguely remember
Similar
playing
looking
MLB
uniform.
The Show and him being on the White Sox.
Maybe
That's
you
how I
traded for
remembered
him.
him.
Or they traded for him or
Yeah.
something. Anything's possible.
Interesting.
Runner on second. Bryce Moskowitz coming to the dish. He is 0 for 1 on the day. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Pioneers looking to scratch across their first run of the ball game. It's a 3-0 game in favor of Geneva. Geneva, the first place team in the division, as the Pioneers trying to reignite those playoff hopes. The wind and pitch. Taken for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes here from Kobe Punchard. Punchard has certainly been working very quickly.
Yeah, we talked about the pace earlier in this game when it was moving along. That one in the dirt and inside.
2 balls, no strikes.
Again, that's kind of slowed up with finally getting some runners on base. We were, 0 for 12 or 0 for 15 at first.
We enjoyed that, George.
We did. As long as if the Pioneers come out on top.
For sure. Still opportunities to do so. Got to remember, it's a
Yeah.
long game.
It is.
The wind and the pitch, high, 3 balls, no strikes. So, Moskowitz really working the count here, 3-0. He steps back in. See if they have him holding up here or if he'll be allowed to chase after something. You got to assume this pitch is going to find the zone. Way outside. So, taking all the way, Moskowitz earns himself a walk, and that will put runners on first and second for Andrew Sexton.
Sexton, not Sexton.
Which is the reason George has been hung up on Sexton.
Not related to Richie Sexton.
Nope, completely different spelling. It's now Sexton, who does have a homer here at Dunfield. For those of you watching on YouTube live, out there in right field, you see the AJ sign. That is where he hit it before. You saw the big cut he just took right by the side of the plate. He'd love to put another one over that fence. Cut on and fouled off. No balls, 1 strike to Andrew Sexton.
Goes into picnic area.
Picnic area, great place to have a corporate event. Bring your friends, family, and corporate brothers and sisters out to a wonderful picnic lunch here at historic Dunfield. So, coming back set, Punchard winds, deals, cut on, fouled back. No balls, 2 strikes. Andrew Sexton trying to get something figured out. He was on a tear for a little while, but in the last 10 games, $172. Have to see what he can do here.
In the baseball field, the Bat Boys running around.
Our Excellus Bat Boys.
Yeah.
As Punchard steps off the plate, steps off the mound.
Not the dish.
Not the dish, not the plate, the mound. The painted white stripe.
Yep.
Punchard comes set. He winds and delivers outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So, Pioneers. Best chance of the night so far, George. Runners on first and second.
Yeah, we talked about not too many opportunities, only the 1 hit tonight. Trying to take advantage of it here with a big gap out in right field as he fouls bat one. Another one that goes into the picnic area off the wall. But again, a big hole out there in right center field. A big hole up the middle if he can keep it on the ground.
Love to put one right back up towards Punchard, who, despite we talked about the lack of real windup, certainly propels himself through in the follow-through, so could be a good place to hit a ball. Swung and missed as Sexton will go down on strikes. He goes 0 for 2 on the night. Pioneers head to the top of the 6th, still looking for answers. They'll go back to the field. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. It's 3-0 for the Geneva Red Wings. All right, so a quick apology to our fans on Mixler.com who just got a little extra coach's corner there. The advertisement went a little wonky on me there as the rest of the kids make their way around the base paths for the kids run. We want to remind you that you can bring your kids on down. They can run the same base paths as your Elmira Pioneers. Noah Rubino coming in for a 6th inning of work, and George, this is almost unheard of.
Yeah, again, a lot of these guys usually only go the
Four
or 4 or 5 innings. And when you look at 3 runs on the board, you think he's had a bad game, but it's really not been. We talked about one bad play over at short. That was not even a bad play, just a bad hop.
Tell you
but
what,
again, he's been efficient tonight.
It's hard to put up any earned runs.
Yeah.
I'd have a hard time moving the ERA up at all here in this this outing for Noah Rubino so far. The wind and pitch is inside 1-0. So as a leadoff batter this year, Trevor Rogers batting .240 in 25 appearances. Rubino comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on right back to the left side of our booth here.
That's the closest one we've had this year.
We'll make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass.
Oh.
As Rubino heads back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trevor Rogers. Rogers always a threat. As the windup and pitch. Taken 2 balls, 1 strike. Still no movement down in that Pioneers bullpen.
Neither bullpen. We talked about a pitching duel tonight.
We've had
it. There we go.
Top of the 6th inning, Noah Rubino trying to keep the score where it is. Cut on, fouled back again. And again, we remind you, for all your automotive needs, insist on Gerber collision.
Yeah.
As Noah Rubino looking to make his way through the top of the 6th, would love to put up another 0. The 1 inning, that dangling 3, sits it back in the 3rd inning. The windup and pitch. Taken. Apparently inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Certainly saw the movement there from Rogers, but I wasn't sure that missed. As now, Rubino comes back set. He winds and deals. Taken for ball 4. Noah Rubino gives up his first base on balls of the evening. It's going to bring up Nick Lebraska. Lebraska 0 for 2 reached on an error. As now he comes up to the plate.
We now have a pitcher starting to warm up now. I think it's our friend from Lockhaven.
It is. It's Chase Austin getting loose down there on the mound. So the one they call Big Baby is getting stretched out down in the Pioneers bullpen.
A similar throwing motion to the Red Wings pitcher tonight, just very simple.
Certainly, I talked about it with you earlier, George. Chase Austin's approach is the wind and pitch from Rubino. Grounded here, not able to make the stretch out for Brody Moore, so that's going to be a single. Nebraska gets his first hit this summer, and that'll bring up Harrison Treble. Austin, he has the power with the fastball, high 80s fastball, but likes to go to that knuckleball, and it can certainly dance on him.
Can he dance?
I do not know.
Oh, be interesting.
I know he comes out to peanut butter jelly time as a special request. As now nobody out, Noah Rubino dealing with runners on first and second. So the windup in the pitch from Rubino. Bunt is laid down. That will be fouled off. As Harrison Treble, not sure, I don't have the statistic on bunts for hits for Harrison Treble, but I have to imagine it's very low. Yeah. The middle of the order, not normally ones to be putting down the bat.
Not usually.
As now, Rubino comes back set. He winds and deals. Bunt laid again. That one perfectly laid. Scooped up by Rubino. Will throw to first in time, as that'll be the first out of the inning. But will do its job, moving the runners to second and third with only 1 out. That's going to bring up Alex Bibb. Bibb, who struck out, grounded into a double play. I'm not sure what the Pioneers might be thinking here is everyone
We
heading
gotta-
for the mound.
We got a visit out at the mound.
Is this going to be...
No.
I can't imagine this is the change. I have to think that they're going to be talking about whether or not they're going to walk this batter to load the bases. I think the issue with that, I mean, obviously...
Bibb's only a 273 hitter, so not necessarily a big threat, but we talked about Pat earlier. The guys that you don't expect to be a big threat are the guys that have shown up tonight. Does have a 407 on base percentage, so he can work his way on.
Well, you say that, and here's the problem. Hojinaki's in the on-deck circle.
Yeah.
Hojinaki's 2 for 2 tonight. However, baseball's a game of percentages. The thought process has to be work around Bibb. If you load the bases, you get the force at any base, and Hojinaki is certainly the safer alternative in just by the numbers, George.
You would think, but again, Hojinaki, we talked about 2 for 2 tonight. He's shown up.
He has.
And it's been the bottom of the order, but it's kind of pulled through for this team tonight.
That's the question right there. Now, the other question is, if you're Geneva, do you come in, you just saw the sacrifice to get the runners over, do you put on the sack bunt here on the suicide squeeze? Certainly a legitimate concern, as that is taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. This is where I think you're going to see Rubino paint the corners. He's not going to come inside. He will walk the man if he has to. That's kind of what I was more referencing. As Rubino comes back set, winds and delivers, outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, George.
Tioga Down showdown.
Certainly is. As we remind you again that Tioga Downs, great place to go and play table game slots. They've got all your favorites. Head on down and check out what's going on at Tioga Downs. The wind and pitch. Outside. We're going to say he did not swing. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 count. As the Pioneers trying to keep the game 3-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. Chase Austin still warming down in the bullpen. Rubino needs 2 more outs to get out of the top of the 6th. The wind and the pitch. Outside again, 3-1. So perhaps my strategy looking somewhat accurate here. As we'll see what Rubino goes with on 3-1. Certainly not going to lay anything in there.
Nope.
As the wind and pitch swung on and missed outside. That gets away, not far enough. As that'll keep the runners at second and third. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Well, surprised there because there's so much space behind home plate. You'd think that the ball gets away, but again, Rogers, I wasn't sure if he thought that it was fouled or if it got away, or he kind of hesitated there at third.
As now Rubino goes back to the mound. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 1 out. 3-2. Umpire showing the numbers. All the offense gathered around the infield grass. Rubino comes set. He winds and deals. Cut on ground ball there. Third baseman knocks it away, and that's going to score a run. So, bad play there, and that'll put runners at the corners. And the 4th run of the ball game crosses the plate. As now, again, Noah Rubino will have to go back to work.
I mean, you got the perfect play there with really a perfect ground ball. Almost, again, just laid down perfectly for the third baseman, just booted it.
Well, the error is up on the board. And the Pioneers now will just look for a ground ball. Seth Hojinaki's had a heck of a night, 2 for 2. The wind and pitch taken for ball 1, 1-0. Rubino certainly showed all-star stuff here tonight.
Yep. Again, it's been 2 plays that have resulted in these 4 runs.
The wind and pitch cut on, fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And 1 out.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Down showdown. As Rubino goes back to the mound. As now breaking news, George. You're the WETM guy. Why don't you go ahead and let everybody know?
And we'll get it after this pitch as 2-2 count. He chopped that over towards Third, and it goes under his legs.
Poor play there by Moskowitz is going to score a run. That'll be another error chalked up to the board.
Well, that one bounced under his legs like a Russell Westbrook pass, and Russell Westbrook will be passing the ball to James Harden that way as he's been traded to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and a couple draft picks.
So, interesting news as the Pioneers now trailing 5-0.
We got a hat trick of errors over there at third, I believe.
Certainly do. As the error goes up on the board.
We had the Little Leaguers on the field earlier, but I thought they left. That was a Little League play right there. That was a Little League play.
As now the first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1 count to Ronan Chisholm. Chisholm stands at the dish. As Rubino getting the sign. The wind and the pitch. Low and outside. So.
Austin's ready. He stopped throwing. He's watching. You think this might...
1 ball, 1 strike count.
Potentially last batter for Rubino as he steps off again.
So Rubino looking in. The wind and pitch. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. As now Rubino would love a strikeout here. Would take a ground ball double play, too, if he could get it. Fielding tonight has been somewhat suspect. The wind and pitch from Rubino. Fouled off there towards the parking lot. And, George, we remind you to make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
And auto glass. As now Rubino has to be frustrated. He has pitched a great 6 innings of work here. He certainly deserves to get through the 6, even with Austin being ready down in the bullpen. Rubino also will be one half of our Feral Gas Friday tomorrow. Make sure to check that out on youtube.com. He'll be alongside a high school teammate, Tom Catania, out there in the bullpen. As they've closed out quite a few games together during their high school career. Rubino winds and delivers. Ground ball. And the play is muffed at third, and that will load the bases. I would imagine we'll see Chase Austin now. As here comes Matt Birch, and that will do it on the night for Noah Rubino. I'm assuming give it as a hit. So
yeah, I mean, again, you almost had 3 straight errors over at third, but it was a tough play. He had to dive and just knocked it away.
Top of the order is going to come up when Chase Austin enters the game. Hold on.
No? Again, he's so close getting out of this inning.
So Rubino.
Austin's at the gate.
Waiting for the sign.
Rubino's fighting to stay in this game.
You can't blame him. He's heart and thumb. All right, Chase Austin enters the game. George, tell us the book on Chase Austin.
The Lock Haven pitcher 0 for 2 on the year with a 5.84 ERA in 6 games. He's gone 12 and a third innings, given 11 runs, only 8 earned, 8 walks, 17 hits, 11 strikeouts. So again, big baby out there on the mound, try to calm this game down.
Well, he's going to have to do it through the top of the order. Brock Kaufman with the bases loaded. 1 for 3 on the night. With the bases loaded, however, Kaufman batting 0 for 2. Does have an RBI, however, the success has not been there for Kaufman. The wind and pitch inside 1-0.
Again, we talked about how the throwing motion was very similar to the Red Wings pitcher tonight, but he's got a little bit more of a leg kick.
Certainly does. And we also talked about the penchant to go to the knuckleball, which is a certainly an oddball selection. As that is cut on and fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Downs showdown. As again, Chase Austin trying to work his way through the last 2 outs in the 6th. Been a rough one. Noah Rubino really pitched a heck of an outing.
He did, and unfortunately, it's been Bryce Moskowitz's, not his night tonight.
Not
a couple of errors over there at third, but he booted.
Well, 3 at the moment. And that one is fouled off yet again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He really could have had 4.
Could.
That last one was
it
close.
was borderline. But Moskowitz, he's solid behind the dish. He's played a few games at first base. Third base, certainly a new territory. Easy for me to say, new territory for him. Cut on, ground ball through, and this is going to score at least 2. So, that scores 1. Held up at third, keeping the bases loaded. A little surprised there as the way the runner came around from second. I certainly thought we were going to see 2 runs cross, but now we've got a 6-0 ball in the top of the 6th. George, this has kind of been the formula for the Pioneers this season. You get great starting.
Also, you think of a triangle. You have the offense, the defense, and the pitching. When one of them breaks, you lose the whole thing. As that one's chopped over towards short.
Played at second, over to first. Not in time. It gets by. And so they do earn the second out. Another run comes across to score.
So I talked about, again, a triangle. The offense hasn't shown up tonight. The defense hasn't shown up tonight. So we got nothing. It's all falling apart. And that's what we're seeing right now with another ball that gets booted away.
So that'll actually put Noah Fisher 0 for 4 with 2 reached on an error. As that's going to bring up Brandon Cooper. Cooper 0 for 3, 2 RBIs on the night. Chase Austin looking in. He winds and deals. Cut on, right back to the second baseman. Throwing over to first and in time for the 3rd out. So Cooper goes 0 for 4. I got to admit, I held my breath there as Berg made that throw. Thought he might have gone right over to second. However, they bat around here in the top of the 6th. Pioneers will have to respond in the bottom half. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, well, we are back. You knew some changes were on deck here. Zach Turner to take his turn at the plate, replacing Jeff Mejia.
Mejia was 0 for 2 tonight, so again, not a lot. Only one hit. Got 4 errors on the board out there for the Pioneers.
So Turner comes up to the dish trying to turn things around. The wind and pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Turner on the season batting .083, as he's got 1 hit in 12 at-bats. Next pitch, take strike 2. So Turner, I don't know, trying to reverse the fortunes here, but cuts on and fouls one away, staying alive for the moment. Turner has not shown up as of yet.
No, I don't know. It's 7-0 at this point in the bottom of a 6. I don't know if they're giving Mejia some rest and they think they're done at this point. I don't know.
The pitch fouled off again, 0-2. So a 4-pitch at bat so far, 0-2 the count, as the Elmira Pioneers trailing 7-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 4 runs given up in the top of the 6th. Those will all be credited to Rubino, but Zach Turner goes down swinging, and he will take the strikeout. Doesn't even try to run it out. So Turner goes 0 for 1. That'll bring up Brody Moore. Moore will stay in the game. I got to tell you what, though, Brody Moore has been a highlight this season. You know it's been a tough year for the Pioneers. Everyone undoubtedly has them, but Brody Moore has certainly come through in a big way. As Moore this season, 314, 11 for 35. He hits the first pitch he sees, right back to the pitcher's mound, throws over, and that will be the second out of the inning. So maybe not so much there, but again, Brody Moore has been a highlight, so glad to see that. He's getting his opportunities here during the summer leagues. Nathan Peng will be the next man up. 0 for 2, fielder's choice. As Peng steps back up. Going to be looking to get on base once again. The windup and the pitch. That one gets away as Kobe Punchard is certainly enjoying his trip back home. 7-0 lead.
There's not much better you can do tonight.
1 hit. The pitch cut on and fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's allowed 1 hit. I have to imagine Punchard is going to work a few more innings if his arm feels up to it.
And again, we talk about some of these guys having pitch counts, but again, he's working pretty deep into his game.
Bounces 1 up. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Peng certainly showing some vision up there. So, Pioneers, who have really staked their reputation this year on being able to answer back. It's been a tough one for sure, as no one working down the bullpen. It'll apparently be Chase Austin next inning as well. This one popped up right back towards us here in the booth. As that one gets over us, make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A Tioga Downs showdown. As Nathan Peng tries to keep the inning alive, George.
Yeah, he does.
Been a rough one against this first place team, who they will see again tomorrow live from Geneva.
Nice little road trip.
Wind up in the pitch. Nice short road trip. We'll take those as 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coming up this weekend, a bit of a longer one as they head out to Utica. Utica, one of the longer trips on the schedule. The wind up in the pitch. Cut on, popped up again. Foul ball. 3 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Of course, also coming up, the Pioneers will do back-to-back road games, Watertown and Utica. That's next week, Thursday and Friday, as Peng takes ball 4 and earns himself away on base. So Corliss is due up.
That's the second time he's been on base tonight. Reached on the fielder's choices last time out there, but you're talking about Schultz 0 for 2.
Corliss comes out.
Excuse me.
Trevor Henneman moves up to the dish. Henneman, not lacking for some plate troubles of his own, batting a .185 this season.
No, but he's been number 4 first baseman coming out of Kentucky.
That would be Trey Harmon.
Oh, Harmon. Harmon, Henneman, same thing.
Very different, I
thing.
promise you. As Henneman steps in.
They can both play first.
They can both play first, and I believe that's what Trevor Henneman's going to do here.
I believe so.
The pitch is cut on and missed by Henneman. Henneman, that unique batting stance that we see. Pujols Bagwell-esque.
A little more Bagwell. Pujols almost a little bit more straight up.
A little bit more.
He's got the bend, but
you see, Henneman throughout the season has gone a little bit more straight up.
It's the wider. It's actually
as that one is hit on and bounced in. That'll be the second hit of the ball game for the Pioneers. So Trevor Henneman comes in and goes 1 for 1. As now we'll see what Matt Birch has done next. If Garrett Schultz going to stay in the game, and certainly no surprise there. Schultz has had a busy night out in right, and he has been spot on. Can't ask for anything more out of Garrett Schultz.
No, but maybe a hit tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking.
He is.
I mean, only 2 hits tonight coming from Berg, who is in the on-deck circle, and now Henneman, who just had I guess you call a pinch hit?
Pinch hit single. As now, coming back set, Punchard winds and delivers high 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. The Pioneers have been somewhat deadly this season with 2 outs, George. Be a good time to cash in here as they have yet to touch the scoreboard tonight.
You have to cash in a lot.
Cut on, hit out there towards center. This is going to be playable.
Oh,
Running back, misjudged. That one's going to land in. This is going to score 1. Another run coming around. This will be a 2-out double for Garrett Schultz. As he goes 1 for 3, earns 2 RBIs, and that sets up Nathan Berg. Excuse me, Berg comes out of the game. All-star selection Mason Ruhlman goes into play second. So,
I mean, before this inning started, we had a little team meeting at home at Pios. And I guess it's with their guy who's been swapped out already, if you don't count the pitcher.
Message received.
Yeah.
As Kobe Punchard has now been touched for 2. I believe he's going to get a visit from his pitching coach. Are we getting some action down in that Geneva bullpen, George?
We are. We are getting a lefty warmed up.
So we've got a lefty warming in the Geneva bullpen. Kobe Punchard not ready to come out of this game. He's got 1 out left to get here in the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers down to 10 offensive outs remaining. And you've got to imagine Mason Ruhlman would love to hit the bullseye out there in right field.
He's come close this year.
Ruhlman will be headed for the All-Star game next Tuesday.
Now, they gave an error, correct? Not on the board out there. The center field.
Did they really?
I would.
I don't
He
know.
misplayed it. He came all the way in and then it went over his head. I'd give him an error.
Okay.
But I can't tell if they actually did because their board is.
They did.
I would.
All right.
He ran like 50 feet in and it went 10 feet over his head.
Agreed. That's accurate. I don't know. I guess it's reach on an error, but, driving 2 runs, you take it however you can get it. As Ruhlman gets set, the wind and the pitch. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. As Mason Ruhlman going to be looking for something specific here. He wants to drive something. Ruhlman waits, the wind, the pitch, cut on and missed, and he was looking to hit that one to Main Street. Ruhlman this year, 256, 7 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 dingers.
I need a dinger right now.
Could definitely use one. Get this back to a 3-run deficit. That one inside, 2 balls, 1 strike to Mason Ruhlman. Standing on deck is Kyle Richardson. Richardson 0 for 1 on the night, base on balls and a strikeout. The windup and the pitch. Cut on. This one hit hard out towards right center. Gets down against the wall. Ruhlman rounding first. He's heading for second. He will pull in at second, and that will drive in a run as Mason Ruhlman goes 1 for 1. A double and an RBI as the Pioneers will send up to the dish Kyle Richardson. And we'll see. Punchard looking towards his manager. Are we going to get a... No, okay.
Nope, no movement.
Punchard will stay in the game. Richardson going to be looking to put bat on ball and would love to drive in Rollman. Pioneers would be fine just continuing to hit doubles. The wind and the pitch. Inside 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as the Elmira Pioneers have a 7-3 deficit right now, but this is the first time they've scored runs in this game. Punchard comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. You can certainly see Kyle Richardson trying to get things going on his own. Looking down there towards the on-deck circle. Trying to get a look. I believe we've got Brennan Garrigi. As that one's cut on, fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, it was Moskowitz who has the 3 errors over at third, but almost kind of prompted that team meeting. You figured he'd get swapped out, but they swapped almost the entire lineup out in this inning.
Certainly
and it's worked.
Well, 3 runs. You can't deny the success of it. As again, Kobe Punchard comes set. He winds and deals. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And George?
It's a Tioga Down showdown.
Certainly is, as now. We'll see what Richardson can do here. The designated hitter looking to put something up. The windup and pitch from Punchard. Cut on, fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
You think he's had a lot of these poke counts now in this inning. Starting to get tired.
Must be.
He's been out there for a while.
Punchard has worked through 5 2/3 innings. He's desperately trying to get through the last third of this 6th inning. We've said it a lot, George. The 2-out hitting for the Pioneers has been absolutely their best quality this season. This one popped up. This is going to be playable for Rogers. Has the read, makes the catch. And that will do it for the 6th inning. Pioneers trailing 7-3 as we head for the top of the 7th. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, so it's a much different alignment than we saw just half an inning ago, George. I'd like to go through all the changes as best we can here.
Do we have time?
We've got time. Chase Austin on the mound. Nathan Peng behind the dish. Henneman at first. Ruhlman at second. Brody Moore stays at short. Brennan Garrigi moves in at third. Turner out in left. Buffington out at center. And, of course, Garrett Schultz will continue to stand in right. So it's been changed up not inconsiderably
Nope.
as Trevor Rogers heads to the dish. 0 for 2 with the base on balls. He takes strike 1. Chase Austin going to try to work very quickly here. The Pioneers want to get back to home plate and start hitting again. They've got a 7-3 deficit to make up here in the top of the 7th. The next pitch in there, same place, 0-2 as Rogers. I don't know if he's looking for something specific or he just Didn't like the looks of those two, but they were right across the zone.
We got a righty warming up for the Pioneers.
Cut on, bounce down. No balls, 2 strikes.
The lefty's still going for the Red Wings on their bullpen.
Can you get a number on that righty?
I thought I saw a 4, but I'm not sure.
That is going to be
24.
Alex Bardo warming up down in the bullpen.
There you go.
So, Chase Austin will work to the best of his ability, and then one assumes Bardo will be in. That one hit out there to left. Play is made by Turner, and that is the first out of the inning, as the Pioneers looking to rebound here against the first-place team in the division. Nick Lebraska will be the next man up. Lebraska, 1 for 3, reached on an error today, also singled.
Came around to score his last time out there.
Oh, let's ignore that, George.
Well, there's been a lot of scoring in this game. We got 10 runs
7-3.
tonight.
We certainly do. Would love to see at least 5 more, all on the Pioneer side of the board.
Got the nature visiting. That one's staying on the outside. We hope he stays outside, a big spider.
As, again, Lebraska steps in. Lebraska, an interesting batting stance as well. Much taller and lankier, but still has that deep bended knee.
Mm-hmm.
As there are some insects were just crawling off the camera there. That was interesting. Sorry about that, folks on YouTube. The wind, the pitch. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. So Austin trying to work his way through a full inning of work. Only had to get 2 outs in his first appearance back in the 6th inning. He got him after a couple of more runs came across. However, those were Noah Rubino's problem, as this one popped up, not playable. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1, 1 out.
Another close one.
They're getting closer and closer as the
They
year
are.
goes on. I don't know if I've said something to upset some players, or I'm going to blame you, George.
Okay.
As once again, Chase Austin looks in. The windup in the pitch. This one popped up busy. 2nd out of the inning. Speaking of outs, you're out of time on the early bird special for Elmira Enforcers tickets. However, still plenty of time to make sure you get yourself a great deal and show up to every game. George, I know I'm going to be there.
I'll probably be there.
Well, thanks, George. Appreciate that. Always love having you at First Arena.
That's 6 fly ball outs to right field. Schultz has been all over the place tonight,
As Austin throws, cut on, ground ball, foul.
except on base.
Garrett Schultz will be looking to rectify that.
He did
here.
get on base, actually, but last time because of that error.
He did.
Came around to score.
And we'd like to see him do it a couple more times.
Yeah. Except we got more errors than hits and runs tonight.
The pitch is in there for a strike, 0-2. That is it for the moment. Hopefully something the Pioneers can change with 9 offensive outs remaining. As Chase Austin trying to go 1-2-3 outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As the Elmira Pioneers here in the top of the 7th trying to send us to the stretch as they look to get back to the batter's box. The wind and pitch from Austin, hit out towards right. Schultz is on the move, makes the grab, and that will do it. 1-2-3, top of the 7th, as the Pioneers head for the bottom of the inning. And we will have a new pitcher when we come back from the 7th inning stretch. Get up and stretch here at historic Dunn Field. All right, folks, hope you got those stretches in as Matteo Avallone ends up in the game. Avallone Well, the numbers don't speak very kindly. 16.62 ERA, 4 games he's appeared in, 4.1 innings pitched, 10 hits, 8 runs, 8 earned, 5 bases on balls, and 6 strikeouts. So certainly can be effective. However, certainly has given up the hits and the runs as well.
Opponents hitting 455 against him.
So
is that good, John?
it seems
For us,
it's good for us as we're looking for 4 more runs as the Pioneers will head to the dish. Brennan DeRigi to lead things off.
Again, the entire lineup flipped over for the Pioneers.
Not the entire.
Everyone except for 2 guys, I believe.
So
Hang was still back there catching, I believe.
he was, yes. DeRigi has a leadoff batter, a $154. Not the numbers you want to see. However, could be a impactful start if he can get a hit right off the schneid here.
Well, all those new guys that came in got hits on their first time up, so hopefully we keep a trend going.
Oh, and you know the greatest part about that?
What's that?
After DeRigi,
We got another new one.
we do.
That's Quinn Buffington.
Quinn Buffington. Buffington, who had a little bit of a rough start to the year, is well known for his speed.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd love to see him turn that on here as DeRigi steps back in. He waits. The windup and the pitch. Taken for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as DeRigi will try to get the 7th inning off with a hot start. The windup in the pitch. Cut on. Played perfectly by the second baseman, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So DeRigi does what he needs to do, gets the bat on the ball, just can't get it by the second baseman.
And directly at the second baseman there, who had a beautiful play ranging over to his right just a hair and having to go on the backhand.
As now Buffington will come up for the first time. Buffington to be followed by Zach Turner. Turner 0 for 1. So Buffington will feel the pressure to get on here in the bottom of the 7th. Pioneers down to 8 offensive outs. The windup and the pitch. Taken for a strike, 0-1. You wonder what kind of impact it has, especially when guys like Quinn Buffington, who see every plate appearance for every one of the first 6, 7, 8 games, and then they have to sit for a long while in between plate appearances. 0-2.
That gives you a little bit of time to kind of recollect yourself, get a little study on some of these pitchers, because you see a lot of these guys over and over.
You certainly do, but it also makes you wonder about the rust factor and how much that plays an impact. As the pitch bounced up to the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Pios trailing 7-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Pioneers 3 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. Geneva 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. The singular error came courtesy of the center fielder. As the wind and the pitch cut on and fouled away, reminding you to make the right decision. Insist
on Gerber collision and glass.
There you go.
Changing it up.
We are just a little bit,
just like the offense.
Well, for 1 half inning anyway. Hopefully we can keep that going here. Thank you all for tuning in on YouTube.com. Swing and a miss sends down Quinn Buffington. As Buffington goes 0 for 1, that'll bring up Zach Turner for the second time. I want to thank our great fans from down in Louisville, Kentucky, tuning in quite a bit this week. We do appreciate it.
A lot of Kentucky players on this team.
We do. As now Turner steps back up to the dish. Pios trailing 7-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Turner going to try to keep the inning alive. As we'll have to see, Bardo was up and warming. He may be the next man up on the Pioneers' hill. But the way Chase Austin pitched in the top of the 7th, you wonder if he'd be the next man out.
And he kept it together for them. He's kept us relatively close, a 4-run deficit for the Pios to try and work back from.
The pitch cut on by Turner, played at first base, and getting back will be the first baseman. So Turner 0 for 2. We head for the top of the 8th inning. We'll see what the pitching situation. No, here comes Alex Bardo. So before we take to the break, Bardo, this season, 4.0 ERA, 7 games he's appeared in, 18 innings pitched, 27 hits, 11 runs, 8 earned, 9 bases on balls, and 10 hits. Or 10 strikeouts, excuse me. So at the end of 7 full, 7-3 in favor of Geneva. We'll be right back on Mixler.com. All right, Alex Bibb heads for the plate. Alex Bardo sitting on the mound. The windup and pitch from Bardo. Cut on and fouled away. On an error. So Bibb been an expert in getting outs here so far tonight, George.
Yeah, but he did come around to score in the 6th inning after reaching on the air as he
cuts one out. Fair ball down the line. So Bibb reaches for the first time tonight without an error. As now, Seth Hojanaki, who's had himself a night of a summer, will try to face down Alex Bardo.
He is 2 for 2 and also reached on error.
So he's batting .666 tonight, or .667 tonight, if you will. Bardo lines and delivers. Cut on ground ball here. Played by the third baseman over to second in time, over to first in time, and he gets the double play.
Had to wait there for a second.
Deep breath up here in the booth.
I mean, again, we had a change all across the diamond in the defense. That ball bobbled at third base again, even after a new guy going in. Garigi going in at third. But again, had to wait for a long call over there first.
Certainly was waited on as Ronan Chisholm, 2 for 3 on the night. Comes set. He winds and delivers. In there for a strike, 0-1. Bardo is dealing here in the top of the 8th, George.
He is. We also got a righty warming up for the Red Wings.
Bardo rocks. He winds and delivers. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. There's nobody working for the Pioneers quite yet. Don't see why you would either. Bardo, if he can work like this, you want him back out there for the top of the 9th. The wind and the pitch. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Looks like a single-digit number out there, so it could be Nolan Meredith or Jacob Bland out there warming up for the Red Wings. It's a righty.
Believe.
Land as that one's high.
Well, Meredith would make the most sense as he's got 2 saves on the year. Land has usually been used as a starting pitcher. We've seen him quite a bit. The windup and pitch from Bardo. Cut on and missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count with 2 outs as Alex Bardo tries to go 1, 2, 3 technically.
Oof.
As would only have to face 3 batters. That double play certainly helped, but the wind and pitch fouled off. That one looked a bit in on the hands there.
Warming up a lot more quickly on that bullpen. We've had a quicker inning than
certainly
first
have.
thought with that ground ball double play.
As now Bardo, 1 pitch away from getting out of it. Looking for the put-away pitch. Hard to find against Ronan Chisholm. The pitch, cut on, ground ball, snagged by Bardo. He will lob it over to first, and that will do it. Chisholm goes 2 for 4, and the Pioneers head to the bottom of the 8th. Trailing 7-3, but I'll tell you what, The comeback could be on. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, folks, so Abalone, one more inning as he comes in. There is a man working on the hill out in the bullpen, so Abalone could be on a short leash here. Have to wait and see, George.
We will.
As first man up, going to be Brody Moore. Brody 0 for 2. Did walk previously.
0 for 2 with the walk. He walked in the fourth. Grounded out to the pitchers last
Zach
time
Turner
out there.
being 0 for 2 threw me
Oh,
off there a
yep.
little bit. Had to remember. That was the top of the order. As now, Brody will go back to work. Brody has had a couple of unlucky breaks for him. Very lucky breaks for Geneva. As Brody swings and fouls one off there for strike one, 0-1.
We still got a fairly quick-moving game. We're only a little over 2 hours into this.
Certainly are. A 7-3 game here in the bottom of the eighth. The wind, the pitch, cut on, fouled off for a second time. Nathan Pang stands on the on-deck circle, then Trevor Henneman. If anyone is to reach, Garrett Schultz will come up. Schultz, who, much to my displeasure, is 0 for 3. I don't know. All right, the wind and the pitch, cut on and missed as Brody Moore goes down on strikes for the first time here tonight. That's going to bring up Nathan Pang. Pang 0 for 2, fielder's choice, base on balls. Were the two ways he reached, however.
Came around to score him a sixth.
He did.
After
Pioneers
that walk.
are down to 5 offensive outs.
They are.
So a little bit of a mix-up here. As just looking over to the booth next to us, Peng comes up to the dish. He takes ball 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, as Roman got some applause there too as he jumps spots in the order.
And if you would like to be an in-game announcer, call the Elmira Pioneers.
As the windup and pitch, cut on, ground ball, right past the shortstop. Nathan Peng will go 1 for 3. That's going to bring up Trevor Henneman. Once again, Trevor Henneman.
He's got a base hit. He came around to score the second run of the inning for the Pioneers. His last time out there, they scored 3 in the sixth.
Like we've said, Avalone does not deal well with the pressure. His ERA bears that out. Hopefully, the Pioneers can add a few ticks to it. As now a runner on first. Henneman stepping in. That had to feel good for Trevor Henneman to get that single because he has, we talked about the average over the last 10, not been in his favor. The pitch cut on, and Henneman wasting no time again. 0-1 on the foul. So, Pioneers, runner on first. Brings up Henneman. Trailing by 4 here. The wind and the pitch. Taken for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another Tioga Downs showdown as Henneman steps back in. Gotta imagine he's got a pitch he's looking for. The wind and pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike as Avalone certainly feeling something out there.
I'd say if you're getting pitches like that, you're not going to find one you want, but this is
No.
fine. You get on base any way you can.
Well, Nathan Peng, not somebody I would usually attribute a lot of stolen bases to. He's certainly not dancing around over there as Brendan Tarigi does. 3 balls, 1 strike. As you would assume, the next pitch will be somewhere close to the zone.
You would think.
Henneman comes set. The pitch, cut on and fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As now, 1 out, 3-2. Henneman steps back in. Umpire gives it back over to Avalone. Peng takes his lead. The pitch, cut on, foul. As that will bring up another 3-2 count here as the umpire goes to retrieve some balls from the ball boy. I know he's actually a bat boy, but you know what? Right now we're going with the other one. So, Henneman stepping back in. Henneman waits. The wind and pitch from Avalone. Cut on. Grounded towards third. Eats up the third baseman. And that is some retribution for the Pioneers.
They need it.
So Henneman will reach on an error here. Garrett Schultz will come to the dish. He's 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. 2 more RBIs. And the Pioneers would really be back in this one.
Was that 4 or 5 errors at third base tonight between all the guys that have kind of circled through?
It's been a rough one at third base. Certainly not the position you want to be playing tonight.
And redo that dirt over there for him.
As now the pitcher was just hugging the catcher. Now pulling him in for a conversation.
The pitcher's done warming up in the bullpen. He's ready to go.
As now umpire heading out for the mound. And we'll circle back.
Yeah, it looks like Nolan Meredith.
That would
From
be
UC
my assumption.
Davis.
He does have a couple of saves on the year already. Certainly Nathan Peng with him.
Yeah.
Stepping back in, Garrett Schultz. Schultz has struck out here tonight. 1 for 3 otherwise. Does have 2 RBIs. As he steps in. The wind and the pitch. Taken for a ball. 1-0. Is it my eyes deceiving me here, or is Garrett Schultz wearing some ripped pants?
Possibly.
Certainly looks like it.
Yes, he is.
As now again, the wind and the pitch. Cut on and fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. A Tioga Downs showdown as Garrett Schultz, ripped pants in tow, heads back into the box.
Yeah, he's adding a pocket.
He may be adding a pocket.
It's a back pocket, but
pretty low. The wind, the pitch, cut on, and driven past the third baseman. This is going to score a run. This will put the Pioneers back to 7-4 as the perfect play on the hit and run earns Garrett Schultz his 3rd RBI of the night.
And we got a pitching change.
And we're now going to get the pitching change before Mason Ruhlman heads up. We'll be back. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixlr.com. All right, folks. So Nolan Meredith enters the game. And I haven't quite killed my co-host yet as, as George re-enters the booth. Nolan Meredith, however, will talk numbers here, George.
Yeah, we will.
5 ERA, no decisions in 6 enters into the game, 2 saves, 9 innings pitched, 11 hits, 6 runs, 5 of them earned, 7 bases on balls, and 14 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Opponent on base average, they're 282.
Giving up 6 extra base hits so far this year.
Going to be a rough one for the Pioneers, but I'll tell you what, they certainly are showing some spark. And it's about time.
Yeah, I mean, again, they had that meeting out there by the dugout, a big team meeting earlier in the game. So they swapped the entire lineup out, and and there's been a little bit more life in this game. They've scored 4 runs since that meeting.
Well, runners on first and second. Ruhlman represents the tying run at the plate, and Ruhlman certainly has power. So we'll see. We know Meredith can throw for power. The question will be, can Mason Ruhlman match it and put it over the fence? The windup and pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Just catching the outside corner.
1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pioneers down to 5 offensive outs, but now with the tying run at the plate, has to be some confidence. Cut on, driven out towards center field where a ball was misplayed earlier. Would love to see that again, as that one will be caught. The tag from second heads to third, as that will put runners at the corners with 2 outs. So Ruhlman couldn't cash in. That's going to bring up Kyle Richardson, the designated hitter. One position that was not changed out, Kyle Richardson.
Oh, he's got a walk and strike out and a ground out already today.
So 0 for 2 with the base on balls and the strikeout. Have to see if he can push something through here. His first hit of the night would bring this game closer. He now represents the tying run. As the pitch taken for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out, already retrieved by the reliever after Avalone got an out. So, 1 more out needed to push this game to the top of the 9th inning. The windup and pitch, high. Stolen base attempted there is in time, and that will be an out. As Garrett Schultz, limping, comes up with a definite ouch there on his right leg, right where that rip is. So, Schultz will go hopefully back to the field, because I'll tell you what, right field has been lit up here tonight, George.
It has, and again, kind of grabbing, I think he's more grabbing where his jersey tore than his hammy, which is good.
That would be a good thing. So 3 outs, top of the 9th, 7-4. Pioneers head back to work. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, so Bardo back for the top of the 9th inning, 7-4, as the Pioneers trying to get themselves back to the plate as quickly as possible. George, Bardo was electric there in the top of the 8th.
He was, and again, he kind of mowed down that lineup that has been giving the Pioneers trouble all night. Got a little bit of help from a double play, but he turned as that one's
Hammered
blown out.
Buffington, played, can of corn. 2 for 5 goes Brock Kaufman. So 1 pitch, 1 out. He'd love to replicate that a couple more times here. As again, Alex Bardo steps back on the mound. He's going to take Noah Fisher. Fisher 0 for 4, reached on an error. Drove in a run, but reached on an error. The wind, the pitch from Bardo, cut on, fouled off.
Had it off his foot.
As that one certainly smarts. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. As the hurler from SUNY Cortland trying to make his way through a second relief inning.
No one up in either bullpen. This is obviously Bardo's inning after going through the 8th fairly quickly.
Well, and that's a good thing, too. You don't wear out too many more pitchers. 3 pitchers in the game, as that's strike 2, 0-2. Pioneers trailing by just 3 runs. It's not unheard of to see them put up a 3-run half inning. Just going to need to find a way to do it in the bottom of the 9th. The windup and the pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just outside.
Bardo trying to figure out his mechanics there as he walked back to the mound. He thought he should have had that one. As the windup and the pitch. Cut on, ground ball here towards Derigi. Derigi misplays the hop, and again, an error at third base.
I've never seen so many errors at one position in one game. I think that's 5 or 6 errors just at third base.
It's been a rough spot for whatever reason here. As now, that's going to bring up Brandon Cooper. Fisher now 0 for 5. Reached on an error a couple of times on the night. Cooper 0 for 4 has 2 RBIs. Throw over to first, and again, this is what we talked about. Bardo gets caught up with those runners on first base. Can't focus there. Have to focus on the man at the plate. That's where the damage gets done. In there for a strike, 0-1. Bardo certainly working himself around. 0-1 the count. Bardo comes back set. He winds and delivers. Cut on out second over to third. And runners will be at the corners as Trevor Rogers will loom into the batter's box.
He's blown out 3 times and came around to scoring me 6th. I circled both a single and a walk on his thing, so I don't know how he got on.
He did walk. 0 for 3 with a base on balls.
I wrote
as
one wrong.
Bardo looks out. I believe we're going to have another new third baseman as head coach heads to the
Double switch?
We're definitely going to get a switch here.
There's no one in the bullpen, so no double switch.
I still believe this is Bardo's inning.
Yeah. I don't know.
But we're going to have to see, unless Pang's going to strip off the catcher equipment.
That must be it.
So, Bardo backing off the mound, not wanting to meet with his manager. Hold on, is Bardo coming out of this?
Well, again, the only person that could come in would be Pang, the catcher, and you don't really want a catcher to come out from behind the plate. He knows the strike zone. He knows the umpire.
Rogers certainly is an intimidating presence in the batter's box.
And he met with the umpire already and looked at the lineup like he was ready to do the switch.
So I'm not sure if the player's coming out, what the situation is going to be here. No one's moved yet. As now the umpire.
We're staying. We're
It's
sticking.
gonna stick with
Bardo.
What was the discussion with the umpire about? I believe that's what
We'll have a lot of questions for Coach's Corner.
For sure. Tomorrow will be an interesting day. Make sure to tune in early, as I will be live from Geneva. George, we'll miss you.
Yeah.
As once again, Bardo looking for 2 outs, trying to keep the score 7-4. Would love to get a double play here.
You got double play depth set up.
That one in there for ball 1, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's actually a strange. It's almost more of a shift in a double play depth because you got the shortstop almost behind second base. Second baseman is
Way
shaded
over to
to
first.
our right, and the third baseman is playing a hybrid third short.
The wind and pitch in there for a strike. 1-1-1. A Tioga down showdown.
And you dropped your pen.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit.
There you go. No one warming up in either bullpen.
So still going to be Bardo's inning. The throw over is not in time. Henneman lucky to make that
I'd say
grab.
spun him around at first.
A little surprised at the throw over. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pioneers trying to keep the game at a 3-run deficit. Runners at first and third. Trevor Rogers, perhaps the most dangerous hitter in the lineup, takes one. That one going around, and that's going to score a run as it gets by the catcher. Bardo tried to come inside, came just a bit too far. 2 balls, 1 strike, an 8-4 lead for the Geneva Red Wings. The first place team in the division, they're showing how they got there. As Alex Bardo now has a runner at second base.
We're taking advantage of the misplays by the Pioneers. Again, a wild pitch there, already 5 errors in this game.
5 errors, and you think about it, that means 2 runs have legitimately been scored. The windup and pitch from Bardo, cut on, fouled off. 2 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
You make the right decision.
Insist on Gerber collision and
glass. The sign says glass.
It does say glass.
It also says formerly
Karuba
collision. The Auto Center, formerly known as Karuba Collision.
Is it a symbol in there?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm doing the Prince
That's
thing.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
We were on the same page.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bardo with the wind and the pitch. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Want to remind everybody that Elmira Enforcers will have new divisional play this year. Only going to see Carolina 1 time, and it is opening weekend. See the championship rematch October 25th, October 26th, only at First Arena. Pitch cut on, popped up. This should be an easy play.
He can't find it.
As coming in as the shortstop, perfectly played by Brody Moore. So Moore will get Rogers 0 for 4. That'll bring up Nick Labraska. Labraska 1 for 4, reached on an error.
I'm about to say it's an elevator shaft ball, but I have no idea where it went.
Well, luckily for the pitcher, his job is to throw the ball. It's the fielder's job to catch it. Fortunately, that worked out on this turn for Alex Bardo. Bardo now 1 out away from getting to the bottom of the 9th. There should be 1 more run up on the board there, though, as the run came across on the pass ball.
If you would like to be a scorekeeper here at the Elmira Pioneers, call 607
734-2690.
Yeah.
As once again,
Tribune Porches are looking for some off-ice
officials. Always. The wind and pitch. Cut on and fouled away, 0-1. Truth be told, we will be looking for off-ice officials coming up soon. Keep an eye on social media. The Elmira Pioneers and the Elmira Enforcers, both part of the great Can USA Sports brand. As again, Bardo, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, the wind and pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The runner still stranded on second base. It's an 8-4 ball game. Pioneers desperate to get back up to the plate. Trailing by just 4.
Looking to avoid a 4-game losing streak.
The wind and the pitch. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, George.
Tioga down, showdown, go get the buffet, go to the chariot races, go play some slots.
Stay at the hotel.
Stay at a hotel, maybe a sports book at some point, as the bugs have come out in masses.
As once again, Bardo comes set. He winds and delivers. Cut on and fouled off. As the umpire stares at the ball, making sure it wasn't going to jump back into fair territory.
And have to do a lot of bouncing. There are a lot of bugs out there.
Certainly are.
They're like down. You can't even see them all.
No. Luckily, they're staying a little bit higher.
If you were to look at the light that's to our left, it is nasty, covered with bugs.
So again, Pioneers trying to get to the bottom half of the 9th. 8-4 deficit. The wind and pitch from Bardo is in there for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not even a throw down to third base, as the runner had the best jump we've seen in quite a while. 8-4 ball game. 10 hits for the Geneva Red Wings. 1 more strike, and Alex Bardo can head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The wind, the pitch. cut on, popped up. This playable for the second baseman, Mason Ruhlman. Ruhlman has a read, makes the grab, and the Pioneers will head to the bottom of the ninth. They now trail by 4. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on Mixler.com. All right, so another inning of work here for the Geneva. Well, I guess you would call it closer at this point.
Yep.
He would be on the hook for the save if
For the
he's
6
able
out
to
save.
get it.
Or not the 6 out save.
5 out save.
5 out save.
As Kyle Richardson 0 for 2. Base on balls and a strikeout. We'll see if the Pioneers can respond here. It's going to be a tough one. The wind and the pitch. Inside 1-0. So again, Meredith from UC Davis has a teammate on the other team. Wants 2-0. Meredith certainly struggling here to start things off in the bottom of the ninth inning. Pioneers trailing 8-4. The wind and the pitch from Meredith. Cut on, popped up, as this should be playable for the shortstop. He will fall over, but make the grab. So there's the first out of the inning.
That's
That was dangerous.
you lost in the bugs up there.
I certainly did. As that's going to bring up Brennan DeRigi.
Another one of those replacement guys that came in the 6th inning.
He certainly did, as he's gone 0 for 1 on the night.
Yep. There's a righty warming up for the Red Wings just in case.
Well, it's 7, 8, and 9 for the Elmira Pioneers.
And these aren't your standard 7, 8, 9 guys. Some of these guys have hit the top and the middle of your lineup.
They have. Buffington's
Buffington,
been on
DeRigi.
a little
Buffington's
bit
been
of
in
a
a
rough spot,
he's been in a season-long slump.
as DeRigi trying to put a ball in play. He takes strike 1. 0-1 the count, 1 out, as the Elmira Pioneers down to their final 2 offensive outs. The wind and the pitch.
Ball.
1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, George.
Yeah. Tiger down.
Showdown. The wind and pitch from Meredith. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'll tell you what, one thing you got to be impressed with these Geneva catchers.
Yeah.
They have constantly kept balls in front of them. They don't let many get around them.
You're reading my mind. I was just about to say that.
As again, Meredith comes set. He winds and deals. Cut on and fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. As DeRigi trying to put something in play. DeRigi talking to his bat. Wonder if Joe Boo may be making an appearance. The wind and the pitch fouled away.
He's not licking it. That's a Yasiel Puig move.
That is accurate. Going to leave the Joe Boo reference hanging? I'm a little disappointed.
I mean, I let it be where it was. I know what you were talking about.
The wind and the pitch. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As now, the Elmira Pioneers trying to keep it going here. As one more time, Meredith, the wind, the pitch. Cut on, hit hard by DeRigi, back towards the fence. That one will get over. Brennan DeRiggi with the dinger as he brings it back to an 8-5 ball game. DeRiggi wasted no time belting that one out to right field over the Multimedia Services banner. And that's going to put back up Quinn Buffington.
And our stat sheets.
Buffington comes up. DeRiggi goes 1 for 2 with the dinger. And now Buffington's got to keep the momentum going. 8-5 ball game, trying to get back to the top of the order.
Remember, these aren't your typical 7, 8, 9 hitters.
That is accurate. I'm hoping
Buffington
can get his way out of the long slump. The wind and the pitch outside 1-0. If somebody goes and gets that ball for Brennan DeRiggi, because not an easy place to hit a home run, as Quinn Buffington takes ball 2. 2-0.
And that wasn't a wall scraper. That went well over the wall.
Clearly over. Probably in somebody's backyard.
I was about to say, you're going to have to knock on some doors to get that ball.
2 balls, 1 strike, as Buffington took a cut at that one. As now, coming back set, the wind and pitch from Meredith. Cut on and fouled away as that one hits the catcher right in the mask.
Yep.
2 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out.
He's still wearing his sunglasses out there.
Well, he's Corey Harding it.
Yeah, but as a catcher.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wears his sunglasses at night.
Yeah, but a catcher. That's different than Corey Hart.
Well, you're talking about Corey Hart, the baseball player. I'm talking about Corey Hart, the singer. About 20 different Corey Harts.
I think we've done this before,
We definitely have. As the windup and pitch. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. As now Buffington has landed a full count.
I don't expect Buffington to drive one over the wall, but
you never know.
You never know.
The wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Buffington takes his base. That is going to bring up Zach Turner. Turner 0 for 2 on the night so far. Would certainly love to change his fortunes here.
We got a visit to the mound.
Not surprising, as we'll see if this is going to do it for the... No, this is the pitching coach.
Yep.
So,
nope, not yet. Get Pirelli caps going. I don't see any yet, but so we got to get them going.
Well, 3 runs away from tying the ball game, 4 runs away from a walk-off. See what that could bring up here is, again, Zach Turner, Brody Moore, Nathan Peng. Peng would love to face his old teammate from UC Davis. As you'd have to imagine he'd be pulled out of there before Nathan Peng got to the
you would think so.
To the dish, but imagine if Turner and Brody Moore both got on and Peng got up with the bases loaded. That would be a heck of a clash. As Turner steps back up. 8-5 lead for the Geneva Red Wings. As loving the comments on YouTube at the moment. The wind, the pitch. Turner pops one up. This should be playable for the third baseman. Heading for foul territory. He will make the grab. 2 quick outs. The comment was made, DeRiggi needs to have a chat with everyone else's bats. And
needs to spread a little Jobu love around.
That is not bad commentary there. So thank you for that. As Brody Moore heads up. He's 0 for 3 on the day. Base on balls and a strikeout. Brody Moore has had a penchant for playing hero as of late. If he can get on, that'll bring up Nathan Peng.
The pitcher's ready. He's walking off the mound out there.
As Brody Moore awaits the windup and the pitch. Bounces away. That's going to move Quinn Buffington to second. With Buffington's speed, that almost could have sent him to third.
I thought about that, but...
as now, once again, catcher's still wearing those sunglasses down. They might be
regular glasses.
Regular glasses, yeah.
I thought about that after I said it, but I didn't want to call myself out.
Well, I will.
Thank you for doing it for me.
You're welcome. Anything
I've only been gone for 2 weeks. They did win like 5 games when I was gone.
They did. And then they also lost a few.
They lost 3 straight.
As once again, Meredith with the windup and the pitch. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Brody Moore trying to keep the inning alive. Brody steps in. He looks out. Meredith has his sign, winds and deals. Outside, 2 balls. The scoreboard get ahead of me here? I've got 2 and 1. Okay.
You know,
2
I'll tell you, I'm
balls,
trying to
1
get-
strike.
I'm trying to get the out-of-town scoreboard. Keep an eye on the standings.
As again, the wind and the pitch. Cut on, fouled off. Now we've got a 2 ball, 2 strike, 2 out count, George.
Tioga down, showdown, possibly the last of
Could
this
be.
game.
As Brody Moore, as I've said, penchant for playing hero as of late. See if he can do it one more time. The windup and the pitch. Cut on by Moore right up the middle. This is going to bring Buffington around to score. Brody Moore will reach as he singles. And that will close the gap further. So, this will bring Nathan Peng to the plate. Peng getting the chance to face his UC Davis teammate, Meredith. Meredith knows Peng. Peng knows Meredith. They're bullpen buddies back at UC Davis. Peng could tie things up with a long ball. We've seen him hit them. Peng to be followed by Trevor Henneman.
The scoreboard all? I see 9-6.
That's the lack of light there.
Oh.
It's 8-6. As again, 3 + 4 + 1.
Yep.
Although that makes me want to do a Tim Curry reference, so I'll pull myself up there. The
Runner
line, the
goes.
pitch. Runner is going. He is into second safely. Barely.
Close. He went in standing, which is
Always
ill-advised.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 and 1. Nathan Peng going to be looking for something specific here. And pitch way outside. That gets by, and Brody Moore will advance to third base, 90 feet from home. Pioneers trailing by 2 runs. 2 balls, 1 strike. You know the Tim Curry reference.
I do
1
not.
+ 2 +
No.
2 + 1. Clue.
Oh.
Ha. All right. Well, Nathan Peng looking for a clue from his bullpen mate. The line, the pitch, cut on. This one is popped up back behind short. The shortstop backpedaling, makes the grab. And with that, the Pioneers fall 8-6. Heck of an effort by the Elmira Pioneers. Unfortunately, ran out of outs.
Yep.
It's been a rough one for the Pioneers this season. We hope that you had a lot of fun here tuning in. I'm John Clement.
I'm George Stockberger.
And until Sunday, George, you get a nice little vacation.
Again.
We're going to head out to Geneva tomorrow. You're listening here on YouTube and Mixler.com. Good night, Elmira.